For me, this never gets old, seeing a baby chick born. Speak to us. I think it's so amazing you can hear the baby chicks inside their shell before they even start cracking the shell. It's really neat. This is gonna be a yellow puffball before long after it gets all dried out and fluffed up. And I can already see some pipping on this one right here, so it's gonna come out soon. And that one right there. So this will be a nice little group. I think we're gonna get at least those 3 and hopefully more. What we really need is 1 rooster. I'm starting up the wood burning boiler again for the first time this year. It's supposed to be in the 20s the next 3 nights. So we want to make sure that we are prepared for that. So instead of burning propane, we're going to start burning some wood. I just loaded up a whole bunch of wood in there. You can see a little fire down in the bottom. Oh, over here on the side, you can see it roaring. The smokestack. When it gets up to a higher efficiency, it's gonna stop smoking. Right now we're at 7%, so it needs to be 100% efficient in a little bit. At 7%, you see that we're getting a lot of smoke. There's definitely some moisture in that wood still, because the smoke is white, and that's what you normally get with wet wood, or just wood with any moisture in it. This has a huge amount of water in it. It's got a tank, but I think the tank kind of wraps around the firebox. That's my impression. And already we've increased the temperature. Oh, we're at 9% now. And we've increased the temperature from 75 degrees. The water was 75, now it's 77. So we're already heating up the water. 10%. Still smoking. So for a year and a half or so, we've been moving this mobile chicken coop all over the field, back and forth, following, well, I say following the sheep, but we only move it once a week. So part of the idea was that the chickens would scratch and scatter the sheep poop, kind of tear it up a little bit, get it going into the ground better. And I guess, so the idea comes from cattle. They will get in there and they'll eat the maggots and stuff, and it's a double benefit. It spreads it and also is another food source for them. With the sheep poop, it's not really the case. Their manure is cold manure, like rabbits, that you could just collect it and put it directly on your garden. And the chickens just don't care about it. They don't do anything with it. So we're gonna, for the winter, we're gonna permanently put them up here. We're gonna make a place kind of in the woods a little bit for them to live, just like we have this coop is permanent that sits back here. I mean, you know, so we move the fence a little bit sometimes. And so we're gonna do something kind of similar to that. I'm gonna grab these wheels off of this chicken tractor. Go put them on that one so we can move it. Going down to see her friend. It's midnight. So I'm thinking this is a good spot. I don't think the ground is too steep right here, where I should be able to drive it up in here without tipping it over. the brush is too high for our electric fence, so I'm gonna have to go get the lawnmower to make a space. But I think I'm gonna go kind of from this telephone pole up into the woods, around, and back again. I want it to be convenient for Cindy, but we just have so much stuff here, and this is kind of our staging area for things that we don't want looking ugly up towards the front of the house. So there's just not a good entrance anywhere here. So I'm gonna go right there. I don't think it'll take them long before they'll have the ground all cleared out like this. Okay, I got the fence put up. We got the coop in there. Chickens are starting to get adjusted. Here's my fence. Well, I forgot about these two sides that have a space underneath. I think I'm gonna need to go get some kind of stake and pull that down so that we don't get any raccoons or anything climbing under. Especially since we've just put this fence in this area and it's a little further in the woods. So it's gonna make it a little more accessible to foxes and raccoons and animals like that. Instead of a stake, I'm gonna use this board as a weight to hold it down. So that's gonna work pretty good. This is a little cement board, little piece of siding. Let's try this one. Okay, they should be good now. We just need the foxes and the raccoons to come up here at night, shock their nose on the fence, and get trained that they can't go in there. They're scratching all through the leaves, trying to find bugs, protein. I was wondering, what is that light? And then I realized it's the moon. That's wild. Well, crud, I forgot to show the beautiful mushrooms. I thought that I had already videoed that, but I've got them upstairs. I'm gonna cut them up soon, and I'm gonna freeze dry those first ones. And right now I'm gonna seal up all the places where these were, and I'm gonna turn this upside down and cut some new X's into it and try to do a second batch. The first batch, I'm just gonna freeze dry them and make them into capsules. And then the second batch, I think I'm gonna cook them and see how they taste. So there, it's all taped up. side doesn't look as good, but it looks like sawdust. I don't think the mycelium has got all the way around to this side. Here's my mushrooms. They look great. They have all these little hairs on them like lion's mane does. That's maybe 3.5 inches, 4.5, 5 inches. Pretty big. Here. Last night, the fire went out. I think it might be because I stacked the firewood unusual. I had some long pieces and I stacked some this way and some this way. And you're really supposed to stack them all in the same direction, or else it can kind of prop up the wood and then the coals burn out underneath and the wood doesn't fall down onto the coals and continue burning. So I'm hoping that's what the problem was. I just thought I'd show you now. So the temperature dropped overnight and now it's going back up again. We're at 100% efficiency. We're at 112 degrees, up from 97 degrees 5 minutes ago. And then you see no smoke because it reburns the smoke. So that's the way it is when it's running at 100% efficiency, or even sometimes like 60 or 70%, the smoke goes away. Burning good. We needed to burn down to some coals. We got a lot of creosote built up on the inside. Here you can see it all over the door, and it's like that throughout the whole inside. So I want to burn some. Of this creosote conditioner. Clean up the creosote. Wake up. So here's two that hatched overnight and they're still drying their feathers. And I don't know if there's any more eggs pipping. These eggs might all be duds. And then we have 3 that hatched yesterday that are now in the bin with food and water. They spent, I don't know, the oldest one was 24 hours in the incubator, just hanging around. And it looks like it was really interested in drinking some water, but it really hasn't done much for drinking water. It's amazing how long chicks can go without food or water. So you know that at least 24 hours is okay.